Let's go ahead and edit a video here. I'm going to take you from beginning to end of how I do a fairly simple video edit using Premiere Pro, and then also being able to export in like vertical and square shorts after that. So today I created a session of how to link contacts in Keep. So let's set this project up. How to link contacts in Keep. And I'm going to go browse. I edit everything off of a SSD USB-C hard drive so I don't mess up my Mac. So how to link contacts, I'm going to save the project file right in the main folder. I'm going to hit OK. And you can see up here, it added that little Adobe file right there. I have my raw videos right there. So I'm going to start in the editing panel, and I need to add my videos down here. So all I'm going to do that is take my raw video file and go there. Now, I am using some AirPods right here, so I need to go to my audio hardware, turn on my AirPods. Yes, okay. Just so I can hear out of my AirPods. Now, you'll notice I have two files right here. I've got my main camera right there, and then I've got my screen share over here, and I want to be able to go back and forth. So Premiere actually has a bunch of cool features to make this pretty simple. But the first thing that I need to do is I need to drag both of these on the timeline, so let's do that first. I'm going to drag this other one up here. And you'll notice if I just go ahead and hit play, okay, I don't know if you saw that on the little items over here, but if I go back here, let's turn this down. The audio is a little loud. You can see I clack, and the clap on the audio is going over there, and then you'll see it go again. But I'm not doing it. That means the audio for this file and that file are out of sync. So all I do in Premiere to do that is select that video, hold down Shift and select that. So I've got all videos selected. I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to go up to Synchronize. And I'm going to synchronize it to audio, and the audio that I want to use is coming from track 1. That's coming out of my camera, so I want to do that. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to process everything. Now you notice it lined everything up. So if I go and I hit play, which is just spacebar, you'll notice here, oh, that audio is really loud, but you'll notice it's going on both of it. Now, I don't want the audio from the screen share. So to get rid of that, I'm going to click the video of the screen share, right click on it. And I'm going to go to unlink. And then I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to delete it because I don't really care about it. Now, this specific video, unfortunately, I goofed and the mic wasn't plugged all the way in, excuse me. So you notice I just have audio on the right-hand side. There is a way to make the audio on both sides. I can't remember how to do it because it's been so long since I've screwed this up. But let's go see if we can figure out how to paste it over here. So the left channel should be left and right. Is that right? I'm probably doing that totally wrong. Oh. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so that was a lucky first time guess. So I've got the video up here and the audio synced, but you notice this recorded at a much lower size. So I'm just going to double click on that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to 200%. And it's not even that big. It's much bigger. And I'll tell you why that happened. That happened because I recorded my camera at 4K, which I normally do, and I recorded my screen at 1080p. So again, lesson learned on that. I won't do that. So I've got that adjusted. So that's full screen now. So now when I go back and forth, if I turn this layer off, I've got video. But if I turn it on, I've got that. So I want to be able to go back and forth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to Nest, which just means put them all together. And so you notice right now I lost my video. That's totally fine. I'm going to right click on it again. And multi-camera, I'm going to enable. And what that now gives me the ability to do is click this button here. And as I play it, I can hit 1 or 2. And based on what I'm hitting, it will show during that part of the recording. So that's really important. So let's go ahead and save this so far. And then let's go ahead and undo that, save it again. So now I'm going to zoom in, and the first thing I want to do is I want to bring it all the way. I want to cut this all the way to when I actually start the video. It's right about there. Hit Q, that'll bring it all the way to the beginning. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this right now, and I'm just going to scrub. I'm not even going to listen to it. I'm going to scrub until I look at my computer screen. And I know that I got a little screw up right here because I coughed right there, so that sucked. Turn that back up. Okay, I'm choking right there. So I'm looking for the do I put. I don't think you guys can hear this. Okay, it's right there. So I'm going to do it, edit right here. I'm going to do Command K. That's going to cut it. And then I'm going to go to this where I actually got back on track. I'll put it right before. I'm going to hit Q. And that will cut it and pull the track back. So there's my cut right there. If I go and hit play. Okay, so I just said let's take a look right there. So right here, you can see that my face is going to start going over. So right there, I'm going to do a Command K, and then I'm just going to hit 2. So what this does now is it's going to cut to that other screen. And there that is. Now for right here, for audio, I'm not sure why. Click right and all right, so something went a little goofy that normally this doesn't happen here. So for some reason I lost audio. So what we're going to do, just to kind of fix all this, because I don't know how to get that part back, we're just going to delete all that, and we're going to do this all over again. So let's add that. Let's add this on top of it. And we're going to right click, we're going to synchronize. We're going to base it off track number 1. Okay, that's done. Then we're going to come up here, hit Q, oops, bring all that back. And I wonder if I just leave that. Let's group that together. Now we're going to nest it. And I'm just going to create another. Oh, that didn't work? Oh, it did. Okay, so I think that's what we wanted to do. So now if we go here, that still didn't want to work. All right, so let's ungroup this. Cut that out, regroup everything. Drag it back to the beginning. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, that's good. So I got to ungroup everything again. Click on this, go right click on it, and then let's see if we can find what we accidentally did earlier, audio channels. And let's see if we do that. If that it does, perfect. Okay, good. I think we're in business now. So let's group all these back together. And you'll notice now that I've got it's not a nested sequence because I still have to click on this sequence, and I still need to make it multi-camera enable. Okay, so now I've got these two things. I've got my little view thing over here, and I think if we do it now, it should work. So let me make this cut again here. So we're gonna make one cut right there. Okay, so that I go over there. So I'm just gonna use my right left mouse. And right there, I'm gonna do another cut, Command K, and then I'm gonna hit 2. All right, and that works. So this is goofed up, right? So I need to go over here and go back to editing, turn this off. See if I can ungroup all of this. Bring that to where it should. Not ideal. I would probably take more time to do this, but it's not really that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and... Okay, just group those back up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm just going to scrub through this whole thing until I can see my face. Look at me again. Look at the camera again, right? Okay, so I look there, right there. So right here, I'm going to zoom in. So I finally got everything figured out. It made a couple little goofy errors there. So back to normal here. Let's do our first couple cuts. And we got to do that one mistake here, which I think is right there. Yep, that's it. So I'm going to do Command K here. Cut it. These all need to be grouped before I cut. So let's do a Command K cut there. Perfect. Then we'll go Q. Make sure that looks okay. Okay, so now we're going to go here. We're going to make a cut, and then we're going to go to screen number 2. And then again, I'm paying attention to this until I need to look back. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to drag this all the way over. There I am right there. Okay, so now I'm going to do another cut. I'm going to go back to 1. Okay, I go back right here. So I'm going to do another cut. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to hit the number 2. Go back to that. Now I'm going to keep dragging. I don't think I look at the camera. Oh, I do it a little bit right there. Zoom in here. Cut here, go back to 1. I'm going to drag over. Command K again, hit 2, go back over to that. So again, I go back right there. Cut it there, go back. And I think I come back at the end. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to go to the end now. Let's just clean up the end here. Command K. Ungroup it. Let's delete that, delete that, delete that. Okay, so there's my cut video right there. So I'm not going to do too much. So now that I have my cut video, I want to edit some audio. I'm not going to do any color correction. I don't really care about any of that. So if I just go back here and I go back and forth, that's what it's going to look like, which is fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to audio. I'm going to open up this little tab here and I'm going to edit the main track on audio 1. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this dynamics thing. And what I want to do is I want to cut out all of the weird, like, you know, you can hear my breath in a lot of these videos. So the way that we do that is you just double click, you go to noise gate, auto gate, turn that on. Now, if I start playing, so I think it's happening around negative 37 decibels. So I'm going to take it out, turn that on. And now you're not going to hear any of the clicks. All the background noise, all of that, that's all cut out with the auto gate. You know it's working because the red. You notice most of that stuff is happening here or below. So any piece of audio that happens right here or below, this is automatically going to cut that out. So that's good. I got a little bit of room noise. So I'm going to go find another. And the reason why, I should have told you this earlier. So if I do anything right here on the clip, it's just going to edit that clip. But if I'm on the audio part, it's going to edit everything in this entire channel 1, right? So again, if I know I'm talking, audio's pretty good. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I want it to be hovering right around there. So I'm going to keep turning that up just a little bit. Okay, and then I got a little bit of echo. So I'm going to go to, I think it's filter and EQ. It's not under echo. You would think it'd be under echo, but it's not. Or it's noise reduction, de-reverb. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm going to delete that. That doesn't look good. Let's change that back to none. I don't like the way that sounds. Okay, so far, I think I'm happy with the edit, right? So what I would do right now is this is like the full video that I'm going to export. So I'm going to do Command M, which is media, and I'm going to label this right now. I'm going to go back to my T7 drive, and this is how to link contacts. I'm going to add a new folder. This folder is going to be called bounced files. That means the file's been bounced down. I'm going to rename it how to link contacts as spouses in Keep. And then I'm going to check my export settings. I normally don't change too much of this. Leave that as H.264. It's going to export in 4K. Probably is unnecessary right now, but whatever. I do everything in 4K. And then the bitrate down here is probably set to 10. I'm going to change this to 8 because that's overkill for this type of video. Maximum render quality is fine. And then I'm going to go to Q. And what Q is going to do is it's going to bring up Adobe Media Encoder. And Media Encoder is going to actually bounce it down. We're not going to use Premiere to bounce it down because I want to keep going. So let's give that a second, see if that's opening. There it is. It's opening right there. And it's opening a little slow because I'm recording my screen and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's give that a second. There it goes. My lovely pin. Okay, so now it's going to put it right here in a second. There it is. That's good. So I don't want to do anything with this yet because I want to do others. Now, what I'm going to show you on this part is I want to start creating square. I wouldn't do this for this video because this is more of an instructional video. But let's say I wanted to create some square moments, like so I can use on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff. This is where it gets pretty easy or pretty fun. So what we're going to do, move this out of the way here. You'll notice that this sequence is called 893. It's that sequence right there, right? FO8A93. Yeah, it's this one right here. So we want to rename this sequence. Main edit. You can label it whatever you want. Just so I know that's the main edit, okay? Now we're going to go to File, New, Sequence, and I'm going to make a square. So I'm going to go to Settings, and Instagram Square is 1080 by 1080. So I'm going to do 1080 by 1080 right there, 29.7. And I'm going to call this one Insta Square. And hit OK. Now I got this new sequence. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this sequence, I'm just going to drag it over here. And I'm going to go to Keep Existing Settings. And now you'll notice that like this is really screwed up. So I want to double click on this, and I actually want to bring this way down. So let's go to 75%. Let's go to 50%. Okay, that's good. So now, and then all I would need to do is just double click on it again and kind of move the frame based on where I think it was stable, or centered rather, not stable. So if I hit play now, so now that's in square mode. So let's say that I only want to do like from 16 seconds to 48 seconds. Maybe that's a clip I want to use. All I do is put my cursor where I want to start. I push the I button. That'll do the in feature, and I go to where I want to cut it, and I go the O. So it gives me an in and an out. And again, I'm not going to edit the video or any of the audio because I already did that in the other sequence. So I'm going to go to Command M, and this one's going to be Insta Square. So let's say this one was, why you should link contacts. And then at the end, I'm going to put Insta Square. So I'm going to hit save. And I don't want this in 4K, so I'm going to go down and change that. Oh, it's already in 1080 by 1080, which is great. I'll make the bitrate way down here, 8. Notice this one's only 32 megabytes, which is great. I'm going to hit Q again, and that's going to add it to my queue. So let's say we want to do another one. So this one, let's say I want to start it here, and then I want to end it right there. Then, there's my in and my out points. I'm going to go back to Command M. I'm going to label this one. This one might be like how to label the contact, even though that wasn't the case. I'm going to save it, and then again, it should say 8 now because it's the same sequence. It does. Hit Q. So now it's going to add that to the queue. Now I want to do these same things, or I want to do TikTok videos as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to File, New, Sequence. And I know TikTok, I'm not going to use any of the presets. TikTok is 1980 by 1020, 1920 by 1020. So I'm going to change this to 1080. Change that to 1920. And it's going to say it's 9 by 16. So this one's going to be TikTok or stories, right? And you remember that I took the main edit, and I'm going to drag that main edit back in here again, keep existing settings, and now it looks kind of weird. So same thing, I'm going to double click this, and I'm going to drag this down so it fits. Still not quite there. Normally I'm on a bigger screen, so it's a little easier to do this, but let's say that that's good, and then I need to move it over a little bit here. Now you'll notice one thing that I didn't show you earlier is the audio down here. I look at audio clips a lot to know where I mark stuff, and it's flat. All you have to do to fix this is go to Sequence and then Render Audio. And there you go. It'll pull all that audio in. So same thing. I'm going to go here. I'm going to put my in right there. I'm going to drag it over there. I'm going to put my out, assuming that's the clip. I'm going to do Command M, and then I'm going to label this, whatever this was. I'll just call this video 1, TikTok. Make sure that's in the right file. That is in my bounce file. And then I'm going to scroll down, make sure that I'm in quality of 8. And again, I might be off on this. I just do that for all of them. I'm going to hit Q. There it is. It's going to add that right there. I'll go back to Premiere. I'm going to look through my video, and let's say, oh, I want this one. So I'm going to go in right there and out right there. There's another short I want, Command M. And I'm just going to call this video 2, TikTok. Save. Because this is the same sequence, this should already say 8. It does. There it is. Hit Q. And let's say I'm good. So I've got my full video up here. I've got my 2 Instagram squares right there. I've got my 2 TikToks right there. Now all I need to do is click the play button. And if we wait here a second, this is a fairly powerful computer, so this should burn through it relatively quick. I'll stop right here, and I'll come back when all this is done. Okay, so this is all done now. That took actually a little longer than normal. I think it's because I'm using Ecamm to record my screen. So if I go over here to my files, you'll notice now that I've got my bounce files, and if I just hover over them, I can see. Okay, so I got a request this week. If I have one client, there's that one. I need to fix that opening. And then there's this contacts together. So let's take a look really. There's the TikTok video. But there's a square one. There's the other square one. So that's essentially how to do it. It's not. It takes a little bit of practice. I know I kind of go fast on these videos, but once you get a little used to how this works and how you push everything out, it's actually pretty fun. It keeps you in a flow state when you're editing video. It's very relaxing. At least for me, it's very relaxing. But hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that adds value to you. If you have any questions on Premiere, always here to help. And I'll see you guys on the next one.